All right, welcome back to Thursday Night with 912 Sports. I'm Kevin Price, staff writer and podcast host for 912 Sports. Of course, tonight we're talking about our preseason all 912 team, the offense and the defense. And one of the guys who is on that team is with us now, and that would be Brunswick High School senior offensive lineman Caleb Cook. Caleb, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Good, good. Of course, looking good in that blue and gold. And Caleb, first of all, I want to mention your accolades. Of course, you're on our preseason team, but I believe you were also voted All-State by Georgia High School Football Daily and also by Recruit Georgia. So congratulations on all of that.
Thank you. It's a really good honor to have.
No doubt. And of course, Caleb is already committed to Georgia Southern. We're going to talk to him about that as well. And of course, he'll be signing with the Eagles here pretty soon in just a matter of months. But Caleb, I guess let's talk first of all about how school is going. I guess you're basically a week into your senior year there at Brunswick High. And I guess first, maybe I should ask you, what was it like to walk the hallways on the first day as a big bad senior?
Man, it's just a different feeling, like a different atmosphere. Cause you waited for this moment since your freshman year, and then like when I was a freshman, the seniors would tell me like high school gonna go by fast, and I'd be like, I listen, but I wouldn't listen. But now that I'm actually a senior, like I know what they talking about. Cause it's like I was
Awesome.
today.
And just talking about how things are going. Of course, COVID-19 still exists. The pandemic is still around. I know you guys are having to wear a mask, which is mandatory. I know Brunswick High's doing all the other things on the football field and off the football field. Just talk about how things are going in the hallways, in the classroom, in the lunchroom, and the whole 9 yards.
It's a lot different. Like wearing a mask the whole day at school. It's a real big change that I still got to get used to. I'm used to it a little bit, but it's like it's a lot of things change. Like we had an extra lunch or two, so our class is the same length, but now like we could go into our classes early in the morning. They usually start the classes at 8:20, but we could go in there at like 8 because they don't want people being too crowded in the gym. And then at lunch, they got, it's like somebody could sit here, then it's a space, then somebody could sit here. They got it like seven, like, one here, like that. And then they got us eating like outside, so we're not all in the cafeteria. So it's a real big change.
Yeah, so obviously the changes seem like they're pretty noticeable.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I talked to you earlier this summer. For the people who don't know, Caleb is also featured in our 912 Sports preseason football issue. So, of course, not only does it have the team in there, which Caleb is a part of, he's also a feature story in the magazine as well. And Caleb, at that time, when we talked, you guys were back working out. I guess it was in June, so you had just kind of gotten back. There's the preseason issue there with Micah Morris from Camden County on the cover, another offensive lineman on the team. But you were a little bit maybe nervous about whether or not there really would be a season. And of course, that's really kind of continued all summer. But it looks like today, Caleb, we're about a week away from that September 4th starting date.
Sure.
It looks like, barring something crazy, that we are going to have a season at least for 1 week, and then we'll see what happens from there. But just how excited are you and all the guys to know that it looks like a season is going to be reality?
We are really excited because it's like we before this COVID stuff happened, we was already excited because it's our senior season and it's things we want to get done. But then the COVID started and it looked like we wasn't gonna be able to have a season because we really ain't have a summer. We ain't have a spring. All that stuff got either pushed back or canceled. So it's like you don't understand what you have until it's gone. And we're all grateful that we're hopefully it looks like we still having a season and I hope it stay that way. I hope we actually have a season. But it's just everything feels a lot better and you're a lot more grateful for what happens.
And obviously, Caleb, I mean, it was a crazy summer. You mentioned it, of course, no spring practice at the end of last school year. And then you guys were out all the way until early June. You've been back on the practice field since early July after the dead week. And, of course, have since gone to pads in August. In your estimation, how do the Pirates look right now? I mean, can you tell that it was a weird and crazy summer? Or are y'all kind of behind, or are you about where maybe you would be in a so-called normal preseason?
I mean, well, we even if it was normal, we always got room for improvement. But I say we looking real good. Like we got a really stout defense and we have a pair of really good running backs. I think our offense, our defense really could be the best in the state this year. All we have to do, we all got to do our job and do it as hard as we can. And if we do that, I really think we could go far in the playoffs and not in state championships.
Awesome. I want to talk to you about those running backs and what it's like to block for them. But, let's talk about last year, Caleb. Of course, you were part of the team a couple of years ago that had a losing season and didn't make the playoffs. Last year, you guys got back in the state playoffs, won a first-round game at Morrow, and then, of course, ran into the eventual state champions, Harrison, in round two. And, if you're going to get beat by somebody, you might as well get beat by the champs. But you talked about that bus ride after that first win against Morrow. It had been a long time since the Pirates had won a state playoff game, and I think it sounds like you guys celebrated almost the whole night back home to the Golden Isles from Metro Atlanta. But just talk about how awesome that win was for you guys that night.
Well, first I say we celebrated the first hour, then after that we was all asleep on the bus. But like after we won the game, it's like we all hyped because this Brunswick High first playoff victory since when? I don't know exactly when, but I know it's been a few years. And then the team that we played against, they was talking before the game. We ain't say nothing. We just proved what we had to do on the field, and we did that, and we won. So we all excited. Like we just took this 5-hour drive. Thankfully we just took a 5-hour drive up there, and we got a dub. So that 5-hour drive back gonna be a lot better than a drive up there.
And it sounds like it was. And Caleb, since then, I mean, just talk about how the team, particularly the seniors, how hungry are you guys for more of that success?
Man, listen, I can't even explain it. Hungry ain't even a word. Really, like if I say we hungry for success like that'll really be an understatement. Like we don't just want to go back to the second round. We want to go past the second round. Like we want to go all the way as far as we can.
And I know you guys feel like you got a pretty good team and a chance to do that. And let's talk about the offense. First of all, I guess KJ Lee, another senior, is going to be the starting quarterback. You guys got a good offensive line. You got the two junior running backs, I guess, Jacoby Hill, who's also on our preseason team, and Reese Simmons, who's another good running back. But just talk about the weapons you guys have on offense and how everybody's looking right now.
Man, listen, all I gotta say is we do. If the O-line do their part, man, these running backs special. Like I honestly believe we could have 2 1,000-yard rushes this year. We had one last year, and honestly, Reed's just as good. He's like just as good as Kobe. Like they both like real good at what they do. And if we do our job up front, whew, man, listen, those 2 running backs, we got a really something special.
They are something special, and you mentioned how fun it was to block for them and see them do their thing. How's KJ looking in preseason? I know he's had some injuries in the past and whatnot, and I know he split time last year with Anthony Mountain. Does he look good and ready to go?
Oh, yeah, he most definitely look good and ready to go.
Awesome.
He, out of all the people, he hungry for this a lot because he spent some time hurt last year behind Anthony. So this is his year to shine, so I know he's hungry for this.
And I know, obviously, you play on the offensive side of the ball, but you're real high on that Brunswick High defense. And, of course, this is their second year under coordinator Thomas Tedder, Coach Tedder. Obviously, a lot of guys coming back. You guys got some speed, some size, some athleticism. You go against them every day in practice. How much better is the Brunswick defense now than it was a year ago?
Like, most people would see the defense and they seen that we lost like a very, very good player in Devin. But I personally think the defense this year is better than last year. Because I'm saying we got a real good D-line, a very good D-line, a very good linebacking core, and we got some real good DBs. So we all do our part. Like, the defense, man, listen, number 1 defense in Georgia. I'm calling it right now.
All right. We're going to see. Even if they're not that good, if they're pretty good, it'll make it'll make a good difference. Obviously, you guys, let's just be frank about it. COVID-19 affected your schedule. Some of the Savannah schools are not going to start playing till later in the school year, if at all. You guys had 3 of those schools on your schedule and had to find 3 more games. You've added Pierce County to open the season over in Blackshear. You still have McIntosh on the schedule, but you've also added Appling County and Benedictine. And all those teams are 912 area teams, and they're all good. How do you guys feel about facing that new schedule, which quite honestly is a little more challenging than your first schedule was? I had you guys going 4-0 to start the season under that old schedule. If you can do that, we will say the Pirates are pretty good and might be a force to reckon with in the region this year.
What you got us going now?
I hadn't really thought much about it yet. I'm hoping that's a good comeback. I'm hoping that you guys can win 2 out of 3 of those games at least, and be 3-1 going into that city championship game against Glenn. How about that? Man, I'll love for you guys to be 4-0, of course.
Oh yeah, that's the game we all looking for. That city championship game, man.
Well, you guys got close last year. Just talk about how bad y'all want that this year.
Man, just think about last year, man. It made my heart hurt. We was this close, man. Then he kicked the field goal. We lost. What, that made 6 years in a row, 7 years in a row?
6, I believe.
6. Well, what you had? Because I'm just reminiscing back then. Because I forgot the question itself. I'm just thinking about how the game ended, man.
We could tell by your response how bad you guys want that game. That was basically the question I asked. But let's talk about your future. Obviously, this is your senior year with Brunswick High. You had several, and I mean several. I think close to 24 offers to go to colleges, big and small. But you're going to one that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts here in South Georgia, and that's Georgia Southern. You told me you felt as good about Georgia Southern as you did anybody, and you felt like they wanted you as much as anybody, if not more. So just talk about the rhyme and the reason behind you committing to Georgia Southern.
Well, first off, I love the atmosphere around there. It's like the coaches, the play, very few of my visits that I went to, the players actually spoke to me and actually treated me like I was before I even committed. They basically treated me like I was already there. Not trying to force me, but it's just a family atmosphere between the coaches and the players. And then I visited 5 times, so I already know the whole place. Other places I couldn't visit, so I wasn't gonna go there. And then I think they got a pretty good football team this year, and I could get a really good degree from that.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Georgia Southern is going to be in good shape under Coach Lunsford there, hopefully for a long while. Let's talk about this, Caleb, because I would be remiss if I didn't ask you this. But you guys have a slogan this year that's all about the family. You mentioned the family at Georgia Southern. This summer, you guys did something, I think, on Tuesdays, either before practice or after practice, and I'm quite sure you'll probably continue it on into the season. But you basically had talks with your coaching staff as a team about serious issues, particularly social justice issues and whatnot. Obviously, Ahmad Arbery, who lost his life tragically earlier this year, was a former Brunswick High football player. I know a lot of you guys and the coaches had a relationship either with him personally or some of his family members and maybe some of his friends. So putting all that together in those all about family discussions where you guys talked about character, discipline, being on time, attitude, all sorts of stuff. How big of an impact has that maybe had on this Brunswick team already? And how big of an impact could that have on you guys when you got to buckle down in the fourth quarter and beat one of these good teams on your schedule?
It brings more of a sense of family. Like we all, with everything that happened, and to talk about it Tuesdays, that's what they're recording and just talking about it. Just the team got closer. We developed more of a bond, not just as teammates, but more as family. Like you got my back, I got your back, and it's just more like that. It's just a lot of unselfishness. All that's gone. It's like we a whole family. We like brothers.
Awesome. And I know you guys seem to be pretty tight knit, before COVID and whatnot. And it seems like maybe y'all have gotten closer together as well. So that's good to see. Well, Caleb, obviously we appreciate your time. congratulations again on all the preseason accolades. Hopefully there's going to be a lot of postseason accolades for you, and hopefully it's going to be a big senior year for you and the Brunswick High School Pirates. We're looking forward to watching you guys throughout the year. Hopefully we're going to start, and hopefully we're going to make it to the end, and hopefully you guys are going to have a big season.
Oh, yes, sir, most definitely. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Caleb. We appreciate it. And, of course, Caleb Cook on our 912 preseason team. And, of course, we'll have a postseason team as well. And I would say there's a good chance that Caleb could possibly be on that as well, and also maybe rack up some all-state honors from various organizations around the state. So when we come back, we'll continue here on Thursday night with 912 Sports. But before we go to a break, let's thank our sponsors: Prime South Bank, Gibson Animal Clinic, Coastal Pines Technical College, Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty. We'll be back here with more high school football talk right after these words from our sponsors on Thursday night with 912 Sports.